Episode 001, welcome to the Millennial Edge Show, guys. I'm your co-host, Keanu Oliva, and we have our other co-host here, Chidi Iwoha.
Yes, sir.
And first off, this is the first episode. What is this show about? Well, we've all seen those individuals in society who have that mental edge. They're sharp, they're competent, they're driven, they're ambitious, and they're just confident. They know where they're headed, and it seems they have their hands on the controls of life. So this show is really a documentation of our journey to aspire to that level. We're both entrepreneurs. We're documenting the journey of the mindset it takes, the discipline, the diligence, the tools and tactics and mental habits you have to build in order to create that edge for yourself as a millennial.
To me, this show is all about a need in society of a bunch of young people that don't know where they're going in life. And we want to help give them the tools, the resources, and then empowering, inspiring, teaching other young people to go out, hustle, and create the life they want to live.
All right, sweet. Let's get it.
Episode 001. So what are we going to be talking about today, Keanu?
We're going to be talking about the millennial dilemma.
All right, what does that mean?
Well, if you look around right now, there are a lot of millennials who just seem to be disengaged with life. They're kind of going through the motions. They seem to be apathetic, and they're kind of feeling powerless. They don't have control. So can you dive more into that? I'm sure you've seen people like that in your social group. I know I have. How would you describe this mental state?
Yeah, so overall, I think it's a lack of purpose and fulfillment and direction in life. When I'm at my happiest is when I'm growing the most. It's when I'm making the most progress towards my goals and achieving some of that. And it doesn't mean I'm there, but it means I'm working towards and actively going from where I am now to where I want to be in the future. And Ed Milet, who's an awesome entrepreneur, he's well-versed and owns 11 companies. I don't even know, it's crazy. He says happiness and fulfillment come from growth and challenging yourself in life. And so if you're not pushing yourself, if you're not becoming better, if you're not growing, you're not going to be happy. And so I think that's a big problem in today's society. Yeah, just going off, you mentioned fitness, and it always resonates with me, because for anyone out there that doesn't know, I grew up super overweight and obese. Not even overweight, just obese at 330 pounds at my highest weight as a kid, so it's pretty tough growing up that way. But if you trace back, and as you can see now, I'm not 300 pounds anymore. I lost 145 pounds over the course of about 5 years. So if you look at that, if you break down my own story of when I first got started, the first action I took was I woke up and I realized that I had the power to change this. It was up to me, couldn't wait on anyone else. That it was up to me to make a decision and then take action on changing and becoming who I wanted to be. So that first action, I remember it, and just getting off the couch out of bed, and I went for a jog. And I didn't know the game plan. I didn't have a strategy for losing weight. I knew I wanted to make a change, and I was like, what do fit people do? They freaking run, So I went out and ran. I'd never run before. I never ever voluntarily got and made myself run and push myself in a physical way like that. So I went out and run, came back. I remember getting into my house and breathing so hard. I opened that door. I had to sit down, and my mom was concerned genuinely. She's like, "Are you okay?" She yelled down from upstairs, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just went for a run." But that was the first action. I didn't have everything laid out. I didn't have a game plan. I just knew there was one step I could take that day to get one step closer to where I want to be. And 5 years later, lost over 100 pounds. And that's over the course of a lot of hard work and effort, but you don't have to have everything figured out. You can take one action that's going to set up that momentum, get that snowball rolling, that can result in massive change years down the line.
Absolutely, right? And that was imperfect action too, because you didn't have a game plan. Can we dive a little bit deeper into that?
Sure, yeah. So what does imperfect action mean to you?
Yeah, so there are a lot of people when they want to build momentum, for example, in the fitness space or even in the entrepreneurial space, they enter this weird window of planning. And it's fine to be planning, it's fine to be proactive, but there comes a point where, the buck hits the nail and you just need to go. You just need to send it, commit, take the first action, and just point it in some generally good direction and take the shot, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And it was that small win, You didn't have like an app with like MyFitnessPal and your macros and everything. You were just like, you know what, I need to go for a jog. And it was like that gave you that small win that started to flip the script.
Exactly. And that's really the key to success. People are looking at like, what's this magic key? What's this magic pill? What's this secret in business? What's the next marketing strategy that's going to unlock their freaking success and make $100K a month? It's like, that doesn't exist. What exists is deciding you want to be somewhere that you're not now, figuring out one step you can take, and then taking more steps over time. And those steps add up, and you learn along the way, and you figure things out, and eventually you get to a point of success, even though you may not even know what that may be or what actions you fully need to take or the whole strategy. All you need to do is start with some type of action that gets you in the general direction, like you were saying. Imperfect action.
Exactly. And then the cool thing is like day one, even like day one and day 30, right? Like I'm sure you still didn't know really what you were doing, like in terms of strategy, but then like as you progressed through experience and you had like this confidence and happiness going in your system, right? You have like you're starting to associate dopamine with the workout, and you're like, this is great, I feel awesome, I'm taking control, I lost my first 10 pounds. Then you're in a position of a healthy psychological state where you can go on the internet or go to some resource, find a strategy, and you're pumped. You're like, oh, I have a strategy now, right?
Yeah. If someone's out there unhappy, they're unfocused, they don't know what to do with their life, how do they go about changing that as a young person?
Yeah, so how do we pull ourselves out of this mental state? I think we've all experienced this, actually. I mean, Chitty, you've experienced this, right? I experienced this myself. So it's looking at what are the step-by-step actions. So first, let's go through the step-by-step actions. Number one is self-awareness. If you've been feeling pain for a while now, and if something feels off, there's not momentum, you don't really have control, you're not seeing yourself grow on a day-to-day basis towards a brighter future, you have to confront that reality. You have to be honest and upfront with yourself and tell yourself, wow, I've really let go of the reins. The best way I like to describe this is kind of like a metaphor, right? You're going down a river, and there are some people who are in tubes who are just saying, go with the flow. They've kind of taken the lazy river route of life. And there are people who are in canoes with paddles, and they're steering themselves in the right direction. But here's the interesting part. The perspective, the mindset you develop for yourself at any given moment, you can go from having a tube to a canoe and paddles. So, number one, self-awareness. With the current thought patterns and habits and actions you're taking right now, are you taking the lazy route? Are you in the tube? Are you letting things influence you in a negative way? Are you making short progress and then taking 2 steps back? So get really, really honest with yourself. Be objective about it. If you felt that pain, if you know you're not progressing, call yourself out. That's one of the best things you can do, because now you have the problem, right? So that's step one, self-awareness. Step 2 is a small action, right? Momentum is built through small wins.
100%.
You don't go from being not in control to being, a multimillionaire with a Lamborghini and, here in my garage, just to throw a meme out there, guys. But you have to take small actions. So let's say like right now, your finances aren't in order, and then you're overweight and your personal relationships are all messed up. Like 3 core components of your life are really fractured right now. Well, odds are you can't find a job immediately, but what you can start doing is you can start looking for a better paying job that falls underneath the skill sets you currently have. If you don't have skill sets that are of value, that compensate well, you can start developing those skill sets in your free time. At the same time, you can just start going for walks, like 30 minutes a day, right? These tiny little actions consistently over time create that momentum, and that carries over into other aspects of life. So number 1, self-awareness. Number 2, small actions. And then number 3, I'd say patience. Life is a marathon. And if you're so focused on short-term gratification, you expect an instantaneous transformation from like -10 to 100 plus. That's not how it works. You have to go from -10 to -9 to -8 to ground zero, and slowly build up from there, and trust in the process. Those are my 3 action steps.
Yeah, well, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's the official kickoff of the first episode of the Millennial Edge Show with Chidi and Keanu. We're pumped. Let us know what you think about the episode. If you're watching this on video, I guess we can look at you guys now.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think about the episode. We're really excited about this. We really think there's a need for it, and we think we can help. And don't want to prove anything. Nothing comes from ego. It's all from wanting to help you guys get where you want to be in life. And that's kind of what we found is a purpose and mission. So we look forward. Let us know what you guys think about the episode. Let us know what topics you want us to cover next, and we will hear you guys in the next one. Peace.
All right, bye guys. Dude, that was good.
That was fucking dope.
That was dope. That was fun as